Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're going to be diving deep into the world of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Specifically, its recent surge to $100,000.
Huge milestone.
Right, $100,000.
Yeah.
I mean, just a mind-blowing number.
Absolutely.
We're going to be breaking down this really fascinating article from Cointelegraph.
Okay.
It was published just last week, actually, on December 5th.
Very recent.
Yeah, super recent.
Yeah.
The title is Bitcoin Hits $100. Why BTC price hit a new all-time high.
Okay.
So our mission today is to unpack what exactly fueled this historic price jump
Right, yeah.
and what it could signal for the future of Bitcoin.
Of course, yeah.
So get ready, because we're going to be exploring some really juicy insights,
Okay.
including Trump's surprising embrace of crypto,
Yeah.
the impact of those new Bitcoin ETFs,
Yeah.
and how Bitcoin is starting to look a lot like digital gold in these really uncertain economic times.
It's a pivotal moment for sure.
Yeah.
This isn't just a random price spike.
Yeah.
There's a convergence of forces at play here,
Yeah.
creating this powerful upward momentum.
Okay, so let's start with the big news. Bitcoin hit a record-breaking $104,000 on Coinbase,
Wow.
which is,
Coinbase is...
yeah, one of the most reputable crypto exchanges
Oh, for sure.
out there.
Yeah.
And this happened just a month after someone shook up the U.S. political landscape.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I do.
Right, Donald Trump's unexpected win in November.
Unexpected for many.
Right.
Yeah.
It had a ripple effect across many sectors, but
For sure.
the crypto world in particular seemed to celebrate.
They did.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Trump has been pretty vocal about his pro-crypto stance.
He has.
So a lot of people saw his win as a positive sign for Bitcoin,
Okay.
and it looks like they might be right.
Yeah.
Because just hours before Bitcoin hit $100,000, Trump revealed his pick to replace Gary Gensler as SEC chair.
Oh, wow.
And it's Paul Atkins.
Big news.
Yeah,
Someone known for being a crypto advocate.
right. It's a strategic move.
Yeah, I mean, considering Atkins's background,
Right.
he co-chaired the Digital Chambers Token Alliance,
Oh, really?
which is a group pushing for regulations that are more favorable to the crypto industry.
Okay, so a crypto-friendly guy.
Absolutely.
It seems like it. And Trump was definitely highlighting Atkins's pro-crypto views,
Oh, yeah.
even mentioning in a Truth Social post how Atkins recognizes the importance of digital assets for America's future.
Interesting.
Yeah, not exactly subtle.
No, not at all.
Right.
And it goes beyond just Atkins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trump's entire cabinet seems to be leaning in a pro-crypto direction.
Oh, wow.
His nominee for Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, founder of Key Square Capital Management,
Okay.
has expressed excitement about Trump's crypto stance
Okay.
and seems open to exploring Bitcoin's potential.
Okay, so the Treasury Secretary is pro-Bitcoin, potentially.
Yeah, it seems that way.
All right, and then there's Howard Lutnick, the nominee to head the Commerce Department. He's also the CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, which handles custody for the USDT stablecoin.
Wow.
Talk about some serious crypto connections.
Oh, yeah, at the top.
Right at the top.
Yeah,
Even Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chair,
right.
has acknowledged Bitcoin,
Yeah.
even comparing it to gold.
Yeah, but in a digital form.
But in a digital form.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right.
So we've got a pro-crypto president, a pro-crypto cabinet, and even the Fed is taking notice.
Taking notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no wonder that the crypto community is feeling optimistic right now.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah,
I can see why.
but the political scene is just one piece of the puzzle, right?
It is, yeah.
What are some of the other factors that are contributing to Bitcoin's rise?
Okay.
The article mentions this term, Bitcoin halving,
Right.
that I think a lot of people might not understand.
Right. A lot of people might not be familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you explain that to us?
Yeah, so Bitcoin halving refers to an event that's programmed into Bitcoin's code. It happens roughly every 4 years.
Okay.
And it basically cuts the reward for mining Bitcoin in half.
Okay.
Mining is how new Bitcoins are released into circulation.
Right.
And miners get rewarded for their efforts.
Okay, so the reward gets smaller over time.
Yeah, over time.
Why is that important for the price?
So it directly affects the supply of Bitcoin.
Okay.
Remember, there's a limited supply of 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist.
Yeah, I remember that.
So when the reward for mining is cut in half,
Right.
fewer new Bitcoins are entering circulation,
Okay.
which can increase scarcity
Right.
and drive up the price.
The latest halving happened in April of this year, right?
Yeah, it did.
And the article mentions a pretty interesting pattern
Yep.
that seems to play out around these halving events.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
So the article references a chart from crypto analyst Mando CT.
Okay.
Historically, Bitcoin tends to have a smaller price surge in the year leading up to a halving event,
Okay.
followed by a much larger surge in the year after.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So the supply of Bitcoin gets squeezed,
Yeah.
creating this scarcity,
Right.
and people jump in to buy, knowing that the price could go up,
Hoping.
right? Hoping.
Yeah.
But is it a sure thing that the price always goes up after a halving?
Well, that's where things get a little more complex.
Okay.
There's some debate about whether this price pattern is a direct result of the halving's impact on supply,
Right.
or if it's more about market psychology and anticipation.
Okay, so are people just seeing this pattern from past halving events and buying Bitcoin because they expect the price to go up?
That's a part of it, yeah.
Almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
Okay.
The anticipation and hype surrounding a halving event can definitely lead to a sort of herd effect,
Oh,
where everyone rushes in hoping to ride the wave.
Right.
Yeah, hoping to ride the wave of the next price surge.
So we've got the political landscape, this fascinating halving cycle.
Right.
But there's another big piece of the puzzle that the article keeps coming back to, and that's that big investors, or institutional investors as they're called, are finally getting into Bitcoin.
Institutional investors,
Yeah.
that's a major shift.
It is a major shift.
Yeah, 2017's Bitcoin rally was fueled mostly by everyday investors.
Yeah.
Then in 2021, we saw some bigger names like Tesla, MicroStrategy, and even SpaceX
Right.
dipping their toes into the crypto world.
Yeah.
But institutional investors, the ones with really deep pockets, were still holding back.
They were missing out on all the action.
They were.
Why?
So there were a few reasons for their hesitation.
Okay.
One was the lack of regulated investment options that met their standards.
Right.
A lot of institutional funds have strict rules that prevent them from directly holding crypto assets.
Okay.
They needed a safer, more familiar way to invest.
So they were basically stuck on the sidelines watching this whole Bitcoin thing explode, but
Yeah.
couldn't really get in on it.
Pretty much, yeah. That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And then everything changed in January of 2024 when the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission,
Right.
the SEC,
The SEC.
finally approved spot Bitcoin ETFs.
Okay. For those of us who aren't Wall Street experts, what exactly is an ETF, and why is it such a big deal for Bitcoin?
So an ETF, or exchange traded fund, is basically like a basket of assets
Okay.
that you can buy and sell in a stock exchange. In this case, a Bitcoin ETF tracks the price of Bitcoin.
Got it.
It lets investors gain exposure to Bitcoin without having to actually buy and hold the digital currency directly.
Okay.
Think of it like buying shares in a company
Right.
that owns a lot of Bitcoin.
So it simplifies things and makes it more accessible for these big institutions.
Exactly.
Okay. And the U.S. approving these Bitcoin ETFs was a game changer because...
So because the U.S. market is the largest and most influential in the world,
Okay.
other countries, like Canada, had already approved Bitcoin ETFs,
Right.
but the U.S. giving the green light was like a signal
Yeah.
to the rest of the financial world.
It's like they said, okay, Bitcoin is officially legitimate.
Yeah.
It's time to get on board.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the article highlights how institutional investment in crypto absolutely exploded in 2024,
Okay.
with Bitcoin ETFs being the main attraction.
Yay.
We saw record trading volumes for crypto-related stocks,
Right.
like Coinbase and MicroStrategy.
Okay.
And even Ethereum ETFs are finally starting to gain traction.
So it's not just hype anymore.
No, it's not.
These big players are putting their money where their mouth is,
Right.
which suggests they're pretty confident about Bitcoin's future.
Definitely. It's a
Okay.
clear sign that Bitcoin is moving beyond being this niche experiment
Right.
and becoming a legitimate asset class, a part of mainstream finance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And perhaps no one embodies this shift in thinking better than Larry Fink.
Larry Fink.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the CEO of BlackRock,
BlackRock. Yeah.
the world's largest asset manager.
Wow. Okay.
He recently admitted to CNBC that he used to be skeptical of Bitcoin. Yeah. But after researching it,
Yeah.
he became a believer.
Interesting.
He even went so far as to call Bitcoin a legitimate financial instrument.
Wow. That's a pretty big statement coming from someone like him.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a signal to the rest of the financial world that Bitcoin is here to stay.
It does, doesn't it?
Now with the floodgates open,
Yeah.
are we going to see this ETF frenzy extend beyond Bitcoin? The article hints that altcoins could be next.
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility,
Okay.
especially with Trump's administration potentially deregulating the crypto industry.
Right.
We're already seeing interest in ETFs for other cryptocurrencies,
Oh, really?
like XRP and Solana.
Okay.
There are several filings under review by the SEC right now.
Wow.
If those get approved, it could trigger a whole new wave of investment
Yeah.
in the altcoin market.
Okay, so we've got the political momentum, the scarcity amplified by the halving,
Right.
and institutions finally taking the plunge. But the article also points out that the current economic climate is playing a role in Bitcoin's rise.
Of course.
We're dealing with persistent inflation,
Oh, yeah.
weakening fiat currencies,
Right.
fears of a recession
Right.
triggered by those interest rate hikes.
Mm-hmm.
The Fed keeps implementing.
The Fed just keeps raising those rates.
Right.
Yeah.
This uncertainty is pushing people to look for alternative investments
Right.
that can hold their value.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin is increasingly seen as a safe haven.
It's like the classic flight to safety scenario.
Yeah, explain that.
When the traditional financial system seems shaky,
Yeah,
investors flock to assets that are perceived as less risky.
less risky.
Okay. Gold has always played this role.
Right,
But now we're seeing Bitcoin emerge
Yeah.
as a digital equivalent,
right.
often called digital gold.
Digital gold, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
People are losing faith in traditional currencies that
Yep.
seem susceptible to manipulation and inflation. They're looking for something that can hold its value over time.
Right.
Something outside the control of governments and central banks.
Exactly.
And Bitcoin, with its limited supply and decentralized nature,
Right?
seems to fit the bill.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bitcoin's fixed supply of 21 million coins makes it particularly appealing in an inflationary environment.
Okay.
Unlike fiat currencies, which can be printed at will by central banks,
Right.
Bitcoin can't be manipulated in the same way.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Right.
It can't be printed.
Right, that scarcity gives it inherent value.
Okay.
So we've got this perfect storm brewing.
A perfect storm.
Political support, technological scarcity,
Okay.
institutional adoption,
Mm-hmm.
and a macroeconomic environment
Right.
that's making people question traditional finance.
It's a lot.
Right.
No wonder Bitcoin is soaring.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost like Bitcoin was made for this moment.
Right.
But with all these factors pushing the price up,
Yeah.
where does it go from here?
That's the question, isn't it?
And what's the ceiling for Bitcoin?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And the truth is,
Yeah,
no one has a crystal ball.
of course.
But what's interesting is that Bitcoin is officially in what's called price discovery mode.
Price discovery.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
It means that Bitcoin is charting new territory.
Okay.
It's moved beyond previous all-time highs, and there's no historical precedent to tell us where the price might go next.
So we don't know.
We don't know. It's uncharted waters,
Wow.
which is both exciting and a little nerve-wracking
Yeah.
for investors.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So buckle up because it's anyone's guess how high this rocket can go.
that's right.
But of course, that doesn't stop analysts from making predictions.
Of course not.
The article mentions a couple that stood out to me.
Okay, which ones?
Yeah.
So even before the election, some analysts were predicting some pretty eye-popping numbers.
Okay.
Bernstein, a well-respected research firm, predicted back in October that Bitcoin could reach $200,000
$200,000.
by the end of 2025.
Wait, so they're saying Bitcoin could double its current price in the next 2 years.
Potentially, yeah.
What's their reasoning behind such a bold prediction?
They're calling it a new institutional era for crypto.
Okay.
They believe that Wall Street is going to become the biggest holder of Bitcoin
Oh, wow.
by the end of next year,
Okay.
driving the price up significantly.
Wall Street being the biggest Bitcoin holder.
That's their prediction.
That's a pretty wild thought.
It is, isn't it?
It would completely change how we view Bitcoin.
It would be a seismic shift in
Yeah.
the financial landscape.
And Bernstein isn't alone in their optimism?
No, they're not.
Okay.
Jeff Kendrick, the head of digital asset research at Standard Chartered, another major financial institution,
Yeah.
also predicts $200,000
Wow.
by the end of 2025.
So two major players both predicting that Bitcoin could double in value.
That's right.
That's pretty significant.
It is.
Do you think they're just caught up in the hype, or is there real substance behind these predictions?
Well, it's important to remember that all price predictions are speculative.
Of course.
No one can predict the future
Right.
with absolute certainty.
Yeah.
However, The reasoning behind these predictions seems to be based on the massive influx of institutional investment
Right.
we've been discussing.
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
Standard Chartered, for instance, has been sticking to their $200,000 prediction since January,
Oh, wow.
even before the Bitcoin ETF approval.
Okay.
They were banking on that institutional wave,
Wow.
and it seems they were right.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But even if those predictions don't come true exactly,
Yeah.
the article makes a point that I found really fascinating.
Okay.
Bitcoin has already achieved a level of value
Right.
that puts it in the league of the world's most valuable assets.
It has.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the article includes a graphic from company's market cap
Okay.
that really puts things into perspective.
Okay.
Bitcoin's market cap, which is essentially the total value of all Bitcoin in circulation, has already surpassed silver.
So Bitcoin is more valuable than silver.
As of right now, yeah,
That's incredible.
it is.
When you consider silver's long history as a store of value,
Absolutely.
it's a testament to how far Bitcoin has come.
Yeah, in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah.
And it's not just silver.
Oh, really?
Bitcoin has also surpassed the market cap of Saudi Aramco,
Saudi Aramco, the oil giant.
the oil giant. Yeah.
Wow.
We're talking about a digital asset created just 15 years ago,
Yeah.
competing with some of the most established and valuable assets in the world.
It's amazing to see how Bitcoin has evolved
It is.
from a niche experiment
Right.
to a major asset class.
Yeah.
It's now rivaling gold,
Right.
being compared to it by central bankers,
Yeah.
and attracting serious attention from Wall Street.
Absolutely.
Who would have thought?
It's a testament to its resilience,
Yeah.
its adaptability, and its growing acceptance
Right.
as a legitimate store of value.
Okay.
And I think this is just the beginning.
You think so?
As Bitcoin continues to mature and gain wider adoption, its impact on the global financial system will only become more profound.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
The political landscape, the technological underpinnings, the institutional adoption,
Right.
the macroeconomic context.
All connected.
All these factors have converged to propel Bitcoin to these incredible heights.
Yeah, it really has come together.
But what does it all mean?
Right.
Where do we go from here?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think what we're witnessing is a fundamental shift in how people view money and value.
Okay.
People are losing trust in traditional financial systems, in fiat currencies that seem increasingly susceptible to manipulation and inflation.
Right.
They're looking for alternatives.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin, with its decentralized nature,
Right.
its fixed supply, and its proven track record of growth,
Yeah.
is emerging as a very compelling option.
Compelling for sure.
Yeah,
It's not just about making a quick profit anymore.
not anymore.
It's about having control over your own finances.
Right.
About protecting your wealth
Exactly.
from the whims of governments and central banks.
That's a big part of it.
It's about participating in a financial system that is transparent, secure, and accessible to anyone with an internet connection.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a movement towards a more decentralized and equitable financial future.
Right.
And while the price swings might grab the headlines,
Oh, yeah, they do.
what's truly revolutionary is the underlying technology and the ideas it represents.
Okay.
Ideas like decentralization, transparency, and individual empowerment.
So it's a much bigger thing
It's bigger than just the price.
than just the price, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a quiet revolution happening gradually.
I like that.
One Bitcoin transaction at a time.
Yeah,
And as much as we've learned today, I have a feeling this is just the beginning.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The crypto space is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
New innovations and developments emerge every day.
It's moving so fast.
It's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah.
And it also means we need to stay informed
Right.
to keep learning and adapting as the technology evolves.
It really is fascinating to think about all the possibilities.
Yeah.
But I also can't help but wonder what could happen in the next year that might shake things up even more.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you keeping an eye on?
That's what I love about the crypto space.
Yeah.
It's so unpredictable.
It is.
What seems like a wild prediction today could become reality tomorrow.
That's true.
Yeah.
We've already seen so many unexpected turns this year alone.
Oh, so many.
Trump's victory, those Bitcoin ETF approvals.
Yeah.
What else could possibly be around the corner?
Well, there's been a lot of buzz about the potential for a U.S. central bank digital currency,
Oh, yeah.
a CBDC.
The CBDC, that's a big one.
It is.
There's been so much talk about governments exploring their own digital currencies.
Governments are definitely paying attention. How would that impact Bitcoin, do you think?
It's a tough question.
There are differing opinions on this.
Okay.
Some believe it could pose a threat to Bitcoin.
Okay.
Governments might try to exert more control over the digital currency landscape.
Right.
Maybe even suppress Bitcoin in favor of their own CBDCs.
Okay, so they would try to control it.
Potentially.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
It is for some people.
Yeah.
But others argue that a CBDC could actually benefit Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah,
How so?
by introducing more people to the concept of digital currencies.
Oh, okay.
It could help legitimize the technology in the eyes of the general public.
Right, more people using digital currencies.
Exactly.
They're familiar with it.
Yeah, and that could lead to a more widespread adoption of Bitcoin.
It's like a rising tide lifts all boats kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
And beyond CBDCs, think about the ripple effect. If another major institution, even bigger than BlackRock, decides to go all in on Bitcoin.
Wow. Yeah, that's a scary thought, actually.
Or imagine a wave of Bitcoin ETF approvals in other countries,
Oh, yeah.
creating a truly global market for the asset.
That would be huge.
It would.
Okay.
Or what if we see major breakthroughs in layer 2 scaling solutions,
Yeah.
making Bitcoin transactions even faster and cheaper?
So many possibilities.
There are.
It's almost overwhelming to think about it all.
It's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it so exciting.
It does.
We're witnessing a financial revolution unfold in real time.
Yeah, and we have a chance to learn,
We do.
adapt, and even participate in shaping the future.
Absolutely.
To our listeners out there, I want to say this. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and stay informed.
Couldn't agree more.
This is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
The crypto world is only going to get more fascinating from here.
The most exciting chapters of this story are still being written.
And who knows, maybe one of you listening right now will play a part in writing those chapters.
You never know.
Until next time, keep those crypto dreams alive.